master plan, and He holds the future in His hands. So don't live as those who have no hope. All our hope is found in Him. We see the present clearly, but He sees the first and last. And like a tapestry, He's weaving you and me to someday be just like Him. Oh, God is too wise to be mistaken, and God is too good to be unkind. So when you don't understand, when you don't see His plan, and when you can't trace His hand, trust His heart. He alone is faithful and true, and He alone knows what is best for you. God is too wise to be mistaken, and God is too good to be unkind. So when you don't understand, when you don't see His plan, and when you can't trace His hand, trust His heart. When you don't understand, and when you don't see His plan, and when you can't trace His hand, trust His heart.
Father, hear my heart, Father, hear my voice. This man was made and pleased to glorify the Most High in my life, yeah. But this man's been drifting from God's side. And you told me I should daily seek you, Lord. Yeah, you told me there are others looking on. When they see me, do they see your reflection? Or do they just see a man? Mirror man, yeah, I am just a mirror man. Lord, anytime you do an inspection, my face should show your reflection. Mirror man, oh Lord, I am just a mirror man. My life is to give you praise. Lord, help me to show your face in my mirror. If you're all I see, then you're all they'll see. If you're neglected, step I make be one to take someone closer to you. Let every word I say correlate with actions that I do. Daily when challenges they come my way, please Father help me use, bless me more you. Mirror man, oh Lord, I am just a mirror man. Lord, anytime you do an inspection, my face should show your reflection. Mirror man, oh Lord, I am just a mirror man. And my life is to give you praise. Lord, help me to show your face. Cause I'm a man who could make mistakes, a mirror man who could fall and break. But a plane was made to fly, a car was made to drive, and man was made to reflect the character of Christ. Now daily my goal would be to seek you first before anything, and in everything I'll give glory to your name. Mirror man, yeah, I am just a mirror man. See, I'm a mirror man, Lord. And anytime you do an inspection, my face, mirror man, oh Lord, I am just a mirror man. And my life is to give you praise. Lord, help me to show your face. I'm a mirror man. I am just a mirror man. Lord, anytime you do an inspection, my face, mirror man. Oh Lord, I am just a mirror man. My life is to give you praise. Lord, help me to show your face in my mirror.
And I sing praises to your name, oh Lord, praises to your name, oh Lord, for your name is great and greatly to be praised.
Oh Yahweh, you're too faithful to disappoint.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening to those of you locked on all over the world, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you for joining me on Constructive Talk today. Today is Tuesday, and I think today is the 1st of July. Very, very honored and privileged to be in the land of the living. And again, I want to say thank you to those of you for your support, your love, your encouraging words, your text messages that you leave from time to time to encourage me and to let me know that you're locked on and that you are appreciative of what I'm doing. So let me say thank you very, 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 very much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't want to be ungrateful, you know. There are some people who are very ungrateful, you know. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be ungrateful. I want to be grateful. I want to be thankful for your support. Trust me, you could have been doing plenty other things. You understand what I'm saying? You could have been doing plenty other things than to be sitting in your homes, watching me, listening to me. Boy, but I am appreciative. I'm very thankful. So, the song says, you are too faithful to fail me. You know? And I totally concur with that statement. You are too faithful to fail me. You are too loving to disappoint me. And let me say thank you to those of you, somebody watching me all the way in New York, viewing from New York City. Thank you very much for viewing from New York City. I appreciate you. So what's going on? There is so much happening. So much happening. Not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but by extension the world. And as you know, there's never a dull moment in this country. Never a dull moment in this country. I'm seeing where they are preparing and they are putting up banners all over. Well, from the airport, I heard, from the airport coming straight to Port of Spain, there are banners that they are putting up of the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and the Prime Minister of India. You understand? The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and the Prime Minister of India. So they're putting up banners. Florida is locked on. Thank you very much, Florida. Queens, New York is locked on. Thank you very much, Queens. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, so what's happening is that there are persons who send me some pictures of what's happening in the sense of when you're coming from the airport to Port of Spain, there is these banners that TNTech workers. Yeah. You hear what I just say? That TNTech workers are putting up some banners now. TNTech workers putting up some banners. You know what I mean? Of the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and the Prime Minister of India, putting it up so that for the visit, you know, the Prime Minister of India is coming to Trinidad and Tobago. So, you know what I mean? There is this banner that they're putting up, they're preparing.
Letter is just for you. My intention was to give you this letter when election was true. But since Dr. Rowley was stepping down, I figured I couldn't wait. I'm reading it now.
I'm reading it now.
before it's too late.
Before it's too late.
I hear people say the PNM wasting the nation's time. I hear people say the UNC go scrape every last dime. And some couldn't choose between bad and worse, so I had to write this plea for the next leader of this country. 'Cause we need to see a nation full of success. We need
Found in Him, we see the present clearly, but He sees the first and last, and like a tapestry, He's weaving you and me to someday be just like Him. Oh.
All right, so I got a little caught up there. I don't know the cables. The scale. So here it is now. I want to touch on something today. And I want to touch on it because I want to show you the difference between, the difference between the PNM and the UNC. Can I show you the difference? Can I indulge you in some differences? And to some people, this is nothing, huh? I just want to say that. For some people, what I'm about to play, they will suck the teeth and say whatever. Right? But for some people, it's a big deal. All right? For some people, it's a big deal. We setting it, and it's an example that some of us need to set for our children. Right? It's an example that some of us need to set for our children, and it's an example that some of us need to take note of. Take note of. All right? So I'm going to play you something that I want you to listen to and take note of. All right? Listen to and take note of. All right? Listen to this. All right? Listen to this clip. And when I'm through playing the clip, I would like to hear some of the elders' views on this clip that I'm about to play. All right? I would like to hear some of your views on it. I want to hear your views on it. The number to call will be 464-7003. 464-7003. That is the number to call after I play the clip, and I want to indulge you. I want to hear your views on it. I want to hear your views on this. Because we are to set an example for our children. From politicians to priests to everybody. We need to set an example for our children. I don't know about you, but I am listening and looking and realizing more and more that apparently we have moved away as a society from thinking or remembering that children are listening to us, they are watching us, and they are taking cue from us. The children of the society today are listening to us, they are looking at us, and most of them are taking cue from us. Some of us don't care. Some of us just don't care. But some of us need to listen to the voice of the youth. Listen to the voice of our children. Because we are setting the stage for them. Huh? That's what we're doing. Take a listen to this, Trinidad and Tobago, and you tell me what you think.
Here on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Networks, former Attorney General Faris Alwari today apologized to incumbent Attorney General John Jeremy for comparing him to a blue market crab after Jeremy switched allegiance from the PNM to the UNC. Alwari apologized for the comment during his Senate contribution in the mid-year budget debate. When Jeremy mounted a UNC platform in the lead-up to the general election, Alwari claimed he had lost his way. However, today he said the comments were made in keeping with political sparring and understands that politicians can be affected by harsh words. Alwari also extended his apology to Jeremy's children for his unkind words.
Because, sometimes you get lost in the fact that you're talking to an individual and you forget the individual has children or family members. So I want to publicly tell the Honorable Attorney General and his son and his daughter, two brilliant twins, brilliant kids, I apologize.
That's very noble.
But, and that was honestly meant in the cut and thrust of politics, but he's wrong. I apologize.
Senior
You heard that? I heard Mr. John Jeremy in the background saying to Mr. Alwari, that's noble of you. That's noble of you. What are your thoughts? In the midst of all that's happening in the politics, and starting of the program on this note. I'm starting the program on this note. In the midst of all that's happening in the politics of Trinidad and Tobago, the back and forth, the spying off, the unkind words, the battlefield that some people want to draw. What are your thoughts about Mr. Alwari's statements to the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago? Do you think that it was a noble gesture? Do you think that it should we were apologizing to the man for all of that in politics? What are your thoughts about it? What are your thoughts about it? I'm taking your calls. I'm taking your calls on 464-7003. 464-7003. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? You didn't hear it? I want to play it again. Former Attorney General Faris Alwari will have apologized to the present Attorney General, Mr. John Jeremy, for statements made on the political platform. He apologized to Mr. John Jeremy for statements made. Listen to this.
Radio Networks, former Attorney General Faris Alwari today apologized to incumbent Attorney General John Jeremy for comparing him to a blue market crab after Jeremy switched allegiance from the PNM to the UNC. Alwari apologized for the comment during his Senate contribution in the mid-year budget debate. When Jeremy mounted a UNC platform in the lead-up to the general election, Alwari claimed he had lost his way. However, today he said the comments were made in keeping with political sparring and understands that politicians can be affected by harsh words. Alwari also extended his apology to Jeremy's children for his unkind words.
Because, sometimes you get lost in the fact that you're talking to an individual and you forget the individual has children or family members. So I want to publicly tell the Honorable Attorney General and his son and his daughter, two brilliant twins, brilliant kids, I apologize.
That's very noble.
But, and that was honestly meant in the cut and thrust of politics, but he's wrong. I apologize.
Senior geoscientist.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
It was very noble of Alwari to apologize to the AG. Very good, very good.
All right, so one voice note said that that's very good of Mr. Alwari to apologize to the Attorney General. Very good. What are your thoughts? Do you think that that was noble of Mr. Alwari? Or do you think that, hey, what are you apologizing for? All that is in the political sparring off. 464-7003. 464-7003. I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts about it? Do you think that Faris should or should not have apologized? Do you think that he had anything to apologize for? You calling somebody a market crab is something that is so disrespectful that warrant an apology? Or do you think that Faris is setting an example? Do you think that Faris is setting an example for the young people of Trinidad and Tobago? Huh? What do you think? What are your thoughts? 464-464-7003. So taking your calls. I want to hear what you have to say this evening. I'm starting off very light. Very, very light I'm starting off. Do you think that Faris should have apologized? You think he should not have apologized? You think that, oh gosh, this politics and in the political world, there is spying. People say things and that wasn't so disrespectful. There are some people who say, but what Faris said, they're not so disrespectful. It wasn't so out of place. Some people might say that. But what do you say? Do you agree with Mr. Alwari apologizing, or do you think that that wasn't called for? Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Pastor Google, and the rest of Trinidad and Tobago who is listening at this time. Pastor Google, I feel within his heart, he did what is best for him, right? And he is setting an example because in the constant thrust of politics that we in this country, we are so much of a horrible government right now, and things that they are saying for the people enemy and all kind of nonsense. So I feel he did the right thing, and he's setting the stage for how politicians supposed to behave in this country. He's setting an example not only for the young people and the children, but for the politicians, especially those in government, to take heed of what's going on. Because what we see in the parliament now, and what we have seen in 2010 to 2015 is really horrendous, right? And it reflects and children take pattern, and we have school violence. When we have these things going on out here, and the society seems like it is breaking down, is our leaders, the heads that the young people are watching and behaving like that, because these are their examples. These are their fathers and mothers, right? These are the people they are watching. So he's setting an example and showing how it's supposed to be done, right? Even though if the person is on the opposite side to you, where politics is concerned, he's still showing respect to the individual, right? And that is very commendable. The person is a human being. At the end of the day, we are all Trinbagonians, and he's supposed to, no matter what race or creed you belong to, you are a Trinbagonian, and we're supposed to show respect to each other. But sad to say, that does not come from the government side. So my thumbs up to him, and Faris did well. He did well. I go on, Pastor Google.
Thank you very much. What are your thoughts? Taking your calls. I am taking your calls. Tell me, what are your thoughts? Hello, good evening.
Good night, Pastor Google.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm good. I'm being brief tonight. Just on the topic. I would like to commend Faris Alwari for that. And naturally, that is his style. He has never been very antagonistic and back and forth in the parliament. He is a strong contributor and politician, but he don't ever go down the gutter direction. So I think it probably weighed heavy on his spirit, and he knew that's not his style. He got carried away on the hustings, and he made the apology. I agree with it, and I think that sort of politics aligns with the PNM, and more so the vision and the direction the new leadership purports they want to take the party. Because when you think people not listening, seeing, hearing, that one gesture, a young PNM person might see that and say, hey, there's a good start. I like that. And the next meeting, the leader the young person might attend. They may invite friends. So those little things, it extend beyond the parliamentary walls. The community, the national community is seeing it. So that is all I have to say on that topic tonight. So I think he did the right thing, and I like that style.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your call.
No problem.
And call in the next segment.
No problem. Okay, great. You see, I try to be brief, and I say I always call in too much. You're encouraging. So
I want you to call in. I want you to. I like when people call in and interact with me.
And give different perspectives.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't like the monologue.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, exactly. No problem. Take care.
All right, bye-bye. So, if you're now joining me, I'm seeing people joining me on YouTube and you're now joining me on Facebook. Good evening to you. I am discussing a matter that happened, was brought up in the news this evening, that Senator Faris Alwari, former Attorney General, would have apologized to the Attorney General, Mr. John Jeremy, on statements that he would have made to him on the political hustings. If you didn't hear the statements, I'm going to play it for you now. Take a listen to this.
There with headline news here on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Networks. Former Attorney General Faris Alwari today apologized to incumbent Attorney General John Jeremy for comparing him to a blue market crab after Jeremy switched allegiance from the PNM to the UNC. Alwari apologized for the comment during his Senate contribution in the mid-year budget debate. When Jeremy mounted a UNC platform in the lead-up to the general election, Alwari claimed he had lost his way. However, today he said the comments were made in keeping with political sparring and understands that politicians can be affected by harsh words. Alwari also extended his apology to Jeremy's children for his unkind words.
Because sometimes you get lost in the fact that you're talking to an individual and you forget the individual has children or family members. So I want to publicly tell the Honorable Attorney General and his son and his daughter, two brilliant twins, brilliant kids, I apologize.
That's very noble.
But, and that was honestly meant in the cut and thrust of politics, but he's wrong. I apologize.
Senior geoscientist Xavier Munan is calling for the...
So, you all heard what Faris apologized. I'm just taking your calls, getting ready to go into the substantial topic. But I'm just taking your calls, asking you what is your view on it. Do you find that it was noble? Do you think that it was right? You think it was called for? You think that Faris could, they think that some people say that I just banter? I just banter, political banter. Mr. Manning used to do it to Mr. Pandey. Mr. Pandey used to do it to Mr. Manning. Market crab, tap like a market crab and all that insulting. Like going in the parliament and saying that your father is a rapist and you are a rapist. You understand? There's some people who saying that there are worse things that are said about politicians, other politicians on the opposition, now opposition side. Really, really nasty things that was said about politicians that you don't hear the UNC apologizing for. Is it warranted? Do you think that it was something that Mr. Alwari should have done, or you think that he should not have done it? He should have just left it alone. All right, good night, Pastor Google. Now joining. Thanks, Senator. You did the right thing. I don't know what you think. Somebody sent a text message saying that. All right, do you think that he did the right thing? You think that it is a good example to set for our children? Or do you think that it's just a show? Because there are some people who are saying it's just a show. There's some people who don't believe that it is something that, warrants all of that. It is so serious. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? All right. Hats off. Hats off. Now joining. I am very proud of you. All right. So that's somebody sending a message again to Senator Alwari. Nobody else want to call in and tell me what are your thoughts about it? Let me say good evening again to those of you joining me on YouTube, those of you joining me on Facebook. The discussion or the question this evening, my icebreaker this evening, is I played for you a clip a while ago from Senator Faris Alwari, who would have apologized. All right, who would have apologized for statements that he would have made to the Attorney General now, Mr. John Jeremy, at the political hustings. All right, show the government how it is done. All right, so somebody saying he's showing the government how it is done. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think that Mr. Alwari, yes or no? So those of you on the live, you could type yes or no. And those of you who listening, you can call in on 464-7003 and say, yeah, man, proper things. Very good example you're setting, Mr. Alwari. And we are proud of you. Are you proud of Senator Alwari this evening? Or you think that really wasn't called for? If you're not joining me, good evening. And this is what we're talking about.
And welcome, I'm Jesse Ramley with headline news here on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Networks. Former Attorney General Faris Alwari today apologized to incumbent Attorney General John Jeremy for comparing him to a blue market crab after Jeremy switched allegiance from the PNM to the UNC. Alwari apologized for the comment during his Senate contribution in the mid-year budget debate. When Jeremy mounted a UNC platform in the lead-up to the general election, Alwari claimed he had lost his way. However, today he said the comments were made in keeping with political sparring and understands that politicians can be affected by harsh words. Alwari also extended his apology to Jeremy's children for his unkind words.
Because, you know, sometimes you get lost in the fact that you're talking to an individual and you forget the individual has children or family members. So I want to publicly tell the Honorable Attorney General and his son and his daughter, two brilliant twins, brilliant kids, I apologize.
That's very noble.
But, and that was honestly meant in the cut and thrust of politics, but he's wrong. I apologize.
So that was the apology by Senator Faris Alwari. And you're hearing in the background, if you listen very closely, you will hear the Attorney General saying to Mr. Alwari, that is very noble of you, that is good of you. And he accepted his apology. He accepted his apology. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? 464-7003, 464-7003, 464-7003, 464-7003. Yes, good job for Alwari. All right, that's another message that came in that I just read. All right, so I wanted to start off with that this evening. I wanted to get into what we do, what we say, how we say, what we say affects not just us. And apparently we I don't know. You know, let's just say I'm a father making a statement, and I used to be upset with him when he said it. Okay, let's take this call. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, hello, good evening, Pastor Google.
Hi, good evening, sir.
Yeah, just Pastor Google. Nobody on that side, they deserve no apology because they are being disrespectful to everybody. Yeah, just Pastor. Nobody on that side.
Okay.
Deserve no apology because.
Okay.
Thank you, Pastor Google.
Thank you very much. So the gentleman is saying he don't believe that they deserve any apology. All right?
No, they don't, Pastor Google. None of that side, because look how they treated people.
All right. Someone on YouTube is saying he's trying to butt up the AG. Okay. Someone before is saying that Penny should tell her ministers. Miss Beckers, do you have any ministers to do the same. Ms. Beckles don't have any ministers. She have members of parliament. So I don't know what she has to tell her members of parliament to apologize for. I don't know what Dominic has to apologize for. I don't know what Kareem has to apologize for. The young man who went up for Mova. I don't know what anybody have to apologize for. In the sense of, in the context of what. So if you're saying that people need to apologize, is it something that Mr. Cummings or anybody would have said on the political hustings for the 2025 general elections that they need to apologize to members of the opposition for? I mean, members of the government for? I don't know. I don't know if anybody are aware of, but they would know what they would have said. All right, they would have known what they would know what they would have said to people who are in government now. So I don't know. I don't know if anybody, and that's between that. An apology comes from somebody who had to tell you to apologize. If somebody had to tell you to apologize, then something wrong. Apology should come from within. Apology, and if somebody do have to tell you to apologize because you didn't recognize that you did something that warrants an apology, fair enough. Fair enough. You know, if you said something to somebody, right? If you said something to somebody and you didn't realize that what you said would have hurt them, and somebody have to tell you, well, hey, you need to apologize for what you said because, you know, the person was hurt by it. Okay, fair enough. Right? All right. But I think that for me, if Mr. Alwari felt as though he would have said something to Mr. John Jeremy, and I think he more focused on what his children, how his children would have felt by his statements. So Faris was more dealing with this man has children, and his children would have heard what I had to say about their father, and you know, he would have apologized based on things like that. Fair enough. What can I say? That's his right.
The relocation of farmers.
All right, so I want to play something else for you, right? So take a listen to this other story that I want to highlight to you guys. And tell me, what are your thoughts? All right? But I give you an opportunity to tell me how you all felt about Mr. Alwari's apology. Cool? I give you an opportunity to tell me how you all felt about it. Some people felt as though, hey, he bought time up to the man. Some people felt as though he should not apologize. Not apologize for. And there are some people saying it's a noble
evacuation. Most of the farmers there.
All right.
Utilities Minister Barry Padaras confirms contractors affected by the recent termination of CPEP contracts will receive payment enabling them to compensate their workers. Responding to concerns over the sudden move, Minister Padaras said government's decision was
I want you to listen to this,
leaving workers without contracts.
They need agricultural land.
Listen to this.
To do their business.
And Public Utilities Minister Barry Padaras confirms contractors affected by the recent termination of CPEP contracts will receive payment enabling them to compensate their workers. Responding to concerns over the sudden move, Minister Padaras said government's decision was not aimed at leaving workers without income or support. He said the compensation clause was part of the original contract and was deliberately triggered to ensure employees under the outgoing contractors would still be paid during the transition period. Padaras confirms that the payment is expected to be made this week after the supplementary appropriation for fiscal 2025 is approved. All this is
So, but you know, interestingly, whole day today, people were recognizing and people were talking about Mr. Barry Padarat lying to the nation. All right? Whole day this week, well, today, sorry, people recognized that Mr. Barry Padarat lied to the nation. And it's not the first time he's lying to us, you know. Mr. Padarat lied to us when he talked about what was happening at the Ministry of Public Utilities under Mr. Imbert. Mr. Imbert would have come and present to us the invoice and show to us what he spent and the money that was spent. Right? I want you to listen to me carefully. So, again, today, during the course of the day, people did their research and came up with this. I want you to listen to this carefully, because you're hearing social media activists and they coming on the radio and going and doing live and telling people that they had corruption. And they can't tell you what the corruption is, number one. Number two, they had to audit they this and that. Listen to this.
Since 2018, CPEP has not submitted audited financial statements to the Ministry of Public Utilities. Since 2018, CPEP has not submitted audited financial statements to the Ministry of Public Utilities.
So, the Minister of Public Utilities in a press conference on Sunday told Trinidad and Tobago that CPEP did not do what? Listen.
Since 2018, CPEP has not submitted audited financial statements.
With a straight face, you know. With a straight face and very looking upset about it, the Minister of Public Utilities stood in front of a camera with a straight face and told you, Trinidad and Tobago, that CPEP has not been audited since 2018, he said. I get it right? Let me listen to it again. Let me listen to Mr. Padarat again.
Since 2018, CPEP has not submitted audited financial statements to the Ministry of Public Utilities.
First to begin, CPEP was not under the Ministry of Public Utilities. To my friends in the media who was at that press conference and who clearly we know now that half of you, if not all of you, are sleeping on the job. CPEP was under the Ministry of Public Utilities? No. CPEP was under the Ministry of Rural Development that fell under the ambit and the responsibility of Mr. Faris Al-Wari. So let's listen to Public Utilities Minister one more time. listen to the constructive lie. Yes, I seen it. Because he's saying that they did not present any audit from since 2018 to the Ministry of Public Utilities. The CPEP was not under the Ministry of Public Utilities. Let's go again.
Dated in the law. Since 2018, CPEP has not submitted audited financial statements to the Ministry of Public Utilities.
So nobody in the media didn't pick up on that? Nobody in the media didn't pick up on that? Nobody in the media ain't sit down and say, but wait now. CPEP was not under the Ministry of Public Utilities, so how could they present an audit to the Ministry of Public Utilities? CPEP was under the Ministry of Rural Development. So you're lying. You're misleading the nation. You're misleading the nation. You're making people believe something that didn't happen, that not supposed to happen. But you think that was all? Do you all think that was all? You think that was all? Only listen to the rest now. Listen to him.
In the law.
Listen to him.
Since 2018, CPEP has not submitted audited financial statements to the Ministry of Public Utilities, as is mandated in the law.
Anna Carter has the details.
The issue of the submission of outstanding financial statements from 2015 to 2021 was once again raised by the Public Accounts Enterprises Committee. In response, the CPEP Chief Executive Officer explained the challenges inherited by the current company administration, including a system crash in 2015, erasing all company financial records from 2010 to 2016, and the unwilling...
What? There was a system crash from 2010 to 2015. I mean, listen. Let's listen. Let us listen to this.
Of former external auditors to submit the working documents needed to complete the 2015 to 2021 financial audit.
Between the recovery of the information and putting a new auditor in place with the refusal to get the working papers, it took 3 years to be able to get that information built and to have a new auditor in place. And that forward balance that we are referring to is something that the auditors require to get 2015 signed off, because if you don't have that balance going forward, everything else that follows could be erroneous.
What kind of...
Will you hear that? You all heard that? If you want me to play it one more time, say play it one more time, Pastor Google. Say play it again. I want to see you type it in the chat. Play it again. I want to make sure you're all listening and you're all watching. If you all are listening and watching and you want me to play it again, type play it again in the chat for me now. Because I want to make sure you're on the same page with me and that I am not misleading you and I am not spreading lies and misinformation.
Hear it, protesters daily declare it. Bedlam on Nelson or Beatam. When you are shut down the program. Vendors from Queen Street to Charlotte. When they hot and ready to riot. Whatever we do, like they what we thief. When some facing adverse conditions, Prime Minister fall back position.
So if you're now joining me, I'm dealing with an issue. Mr. Barry Padarat, the Minister of Public Utilities, on Sunday had a press conference. And in the midst of the press conference, he made some statements that the media didn't pick up on. They didn't take him up on. Because he sounded convincing. He sounded as though what he's saying is so true. He sounded as though, hey, this is factual. But people were doing their research and being aware of what's going on are now questioning this Minister of Public Utilities, and we are calling on the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago to reel in your Minister of Public Utilities, because we are catching him lying. Okay, so listen to him.
Since 2018, CPEP has not submitted audited financial statements to the Ministry of Public Utilities, as is mandated in the law.
Anna Carter has the details.
The issue of the submission of outstanding financial statements from 2015 to 2021 was once again raised by the Public Accounts Enterprises Committee. In response, the CPEP Chief Executive Officer explained the challenges inherited by the current company administration, including a system crash in 2015, erasing all company financial records from 2010 to 2016, and the unwillingness of former external auditors to submit the working documents needed to complete the 2015 to 2021 financial audit.
Between the recovery of the information and putting a new auditor in place with the refusal to get the working papers, it took 3 years to be able to get that information built and to have a new auditor in place. And that forward balance that we are referring to is something that the auditors require to get 2015 signed off, because if you don't have that balance going forward, everything else that follows could be erroneous.
What kind of...
So, Minister Padarat, who are you really trying to fool? You came with the intentions to fool people. That's what it is, you know. That's what it is. Where's your thoughts? 4647003. What is your thoughts about Mr. Barry Padarat? And clearly, Mr. Padarat had intentions to mislead the population. Do you agree with me or you disagree with me? Mr. Barry Padarat clearly had intentions to mislead the population. Yes or no? Yes or no? Listen to it again. Call me and tell me what's your thoughts.
Since 2018, CPEP has not submitted audited financial statements to the Ministry of Public Utilities. Since 2018, CPEP has not submitted audited financial statements to the Ministry of Public Utilities.
The CPEP was never under the Ministry of Public Utilities, so how could they submit an audit to the Ministry of Public Utilities? Since 2018, they were never under the Ministry of Public Utilities. So how is he saying that they're supposed to submit an audit to the Ministry of Public Utilities? How? First, he misleading the nation. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Pastor Gugu. These people agenda is one, you know, to fool the people, Pastor Gugu. Thank you.
All right. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. All right. What it is? What is it? What is it? You tell me. Why we have to be going through this as a nation? Why a minister must stand in a press conference and lie like this? Okay. All right. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He didn't mean the Ministry of Public Utilities. What he really meant was the Ministry of Rural Development. Okay. All right. We gave you the benefit of the doubt. That's what I wanted to say. But yet still you continue the lie. You continue the lie. You continued misinforming the population because clearly at the joint at the standing committee, you are at the joint select committee. You heard where the CEO will have said, "Hey, from 2010 to 2015, the system crashed." Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Pastor Google. Well, Pastor Google, I agree with you 100%, but I wonder where is people like Akash Samaru, who is there to hold this government account? Where is the news reporters? The same way they came out against the PNM, and the PNM wasn't lying, but now they are lying. They are trying to mislead the population. Why is that race thing? What? Well, let me know what's going on. But Pastor Google, he just gave the lawyers, the PNM lawyers, ammunition because he summarily dismissed contractors based on the false premise that CPEP was supposed to be audited, right? They wasn't audited. The Ministry of Public Utilities they did not submit the audit to the ministry. So it was basically a lie. So he dismissed contractors and 11,000 workers based on a lie.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Hello, good evening.
Sir, good evening.
Good evening.
We should not be surprised at what's going on.
We're not surprised, but we're showing up the facts of what it is they're doing.
From the time the election was called, we realized there was lying going on the road. And the others still tell you they're continuing Parliament with it. How come this man watching you in your face and I want to give him he is a distinguished liar. This man watching you in your face and lying with a straight face. And the man even winking and saying, well, boy, I'm lying and I'm feeling bad about it. The same thing coming over here tomorrow or whatever, URP monthly, URP.
Yes, I am hearing that. I'm trying to get on to a friend of mine who work in URP to know if it's true.
I hear what they're saying. Hear what they're saying happening. They're doing some little investigation, like some people are working and some people working, so they're doing a little investigation. But I have a problem with them banner hanging up from up in Piaco coming down because they have to pay for all them things. Them things can be free. Where they getting the money from to buy them things and the country crash. You understand? So that is the problem. All kind of talk going on to mislead me and make me feel we stupid. But the stupidity going to show up sooner or later on them who doing that later.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very, very much. 464-7003. 464-7003. What is your thoughts? Tell me. Are any of you concerned about a minister blatantly lying like this? If he could lie about this, what else could they be lying about? If they start off to lie with this simple things, if they could start off to lie about things like this, are you not concerned that they of the levels that they will go to? Is this a non-issue to some of you? When the minister is saying that they're supposed to, the company was supposed to be audited, and the company was supposed to bring the audit records to the Ministry of Public Utilities when CPEP was not under the Ministry of Public Utilities. CPEP was not under the Ministry of Public Utilities. CPEP was under the Ministry of Rural Development. Something is at miss here. Well, yeah.
2018, CPEP has not submitted audited financial statements to the Ministry of Public Utilities, as is mandated in the law.
Anna Carter has the details.
The issue of the submission of outstanding financial statements from 2015 to 2021 was once again raised by the Public Accounts Enterprises Committee. In response, the CPEP Chief Executive Officer explained the challenges inherited by the current company administration, including a system crash in 2015, erasing all company financial records from 2010 to 2016.
So, the gentleman was at a standing committee, the CEO, and he had to answer questions. He had to answer questions. Why was the audit not submitted? He said that there was a system crash. You think Mr. Parrott didn't know that? If he didn't know, then he need to hush. And he need to stop trying to fool people. So there was a system crash, Mr. Parrott. But listen, because apparently somebody playing us for fools. And it's certainly ain't me. I played from the beginning again because some of you now joining the live and you must want to know what am I discussing. I'm discussing the press conference on Sunday with the Minister of Public Utilities telling you, the nation, telling you, Trinidad and Tobago, telling me that CPEP did not do or presented or give an audit since 2018 to the Ministry of Public Utilities. We are saying and we are aware, you're supposed to know better than me, that the CPEP was not under the Ministry of Public Utilities. So if he's looking for an audit from CPEP under the Ministry of Public Utilities, he will not find it because CPEP was not under the Ministry of Public Utilities. CPEP was under the Ministry of Rural Development, which the minister was Faris Alwari. Cool? Cool. But he compounded the lie. Because when he said they did not submit the audit, there was a standing committee that explained why they did not submit or listen to what was said.
Since 2018, CPEP has not submitted audited financial statements to the Ministry of Public Utilities, as is mandated in the law.
Anna Carter has the details.
The issue of the submission of outstanding financial statements from 2015 to 2021 was once again raised by the Public Accounts Enterprises Committee. In response, the CPEP Chief Executive Officer explained the challenges inherited by the current company administration, including a system crash in 2015, erasing all company financial records from 2010 to 2016, and the unwillingness of former external auditors to submit the working documents needed to complete the 2015 to 2021 financial audit.
Who was in office at that time? Who was in office at that time? Nobody can tell me? Nobody want to call in and tell me who was in office at that time? Who was in office at that time when they were struggling to get the audit and to get the records, and the records were wiped? Or who was in office? Who were the contractors? Who was in office earlier? Who was the contractors earlier? Who was in office? Well, they don't know. Well, they don't know who was in office. Okay.
The challenges inherited by the current company administration, including a system crash in 2015, erasing all company financial records from 2010 to 2016, and the unwillingness of former external auditors to submit the working documents needed to complete the 2015 to 2021 financial audit.
Between the recovery of the information and putting a new auditor in place with the refusal to get the working papers, it took 3 years to be able to get that information built and to have a new auditor in place. And that forward balance that we are referring to is something that the auditors require to get 2015 signed off, because if you don't have that balance going forward, everything else that follows could be erroneous.
What kind of...
Oh, yeah. So, the minister need to, or members of the media need to ask the minister the relevant questions. I want you to hear me again. The media need to ask the minister the relevant questions. I say it one more time. You citizens need to call on the media to ask the relevant questions to the minister. Because the minister just giving you cock and bull story and only running with it. You know what I say? I say it, yes. The minister giving you all cock and bull story and only running with that.
Good night, Pastor Google. Pastor Google, I stand by what I said last night. The former opposition leader, which is the President Prime Minister right now, makes some hefty promise without looking down the road ahead. When she come in to power right now, she realized, which she already know because the former Prime Minister and the cabinet was preaching that right but how the economy is, and I saw she reading and watching the scene how the economy was and whatnot and is. She makes some hefty promise and they will look to sidetrack all kind of different things to go right or wrong. Playing all kind of duck and hide and whatnot thing. They make it look like if the former government have the economy so the way they can fulfill the promise. One. Number two, besides Faris Alroy, and it had this guy who was first rural development minister, I think wasn't Hussein the one who was the former Minister of Agriculture. I think he was the Minister of Rural Development first, Qasim Hussein, and then he returned to Faris Alroy. So you have to take into consideration both of them. Correct? And let's be sister have Pararat as she bulldog. He come like the tiger. He attacking everything aggressive.
Okay. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, Pastor, good afternoon.
Hi, good evening, sir.
and by extension, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm listening, I just jump in, but I get the drift of what you're speaking about. But as you said just now, between 2010 and 2015, who was in government? We got to ask ourselves this question. And the next question we ask ourselves, how come after the system crash? What was the reason and why did the system crash when the UNC leave office in 2015? Were they trying to hide something or were they trying to cover up something? And we must not forget, when the UNC was in power, under that same CPEP, everybody had contract, down to the dog and all had contract with CPEP, you know. So were they trying to fool us? Were they playing us for fools? People are not stupid. And another thing, this UNC government, this present government only won 5 years in office. If they can pull off 5 years. Because you know what they're going to do? They're going to put all their cronies in key positions. So even if they're out of office, they will be still controlling, they will be still there within the system. Let's not be fooled. All this smoke and mirrors and all this nonsense they're carrying on with there is like they're trying to fix themselves with all of these firings and all these hirings and all that kind of stuff. They're a cleaning house to put their people in key location because they do not intend to return to the corridors of power 5 years after this. Because they're going to install their cronies in key positions, and whoever come back there to lead is going to be hell on earth. This is what's going to happen right now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Number to call 464-7003. 464-7003. Let me say good evening again to those of you joining me on YouTube. 353 of you. And I seeing 25 on Facebook. All right, you all on Facebook need to share it and you all need to like it. Those of you on YouTube who haven't subscribed to the page, you need to subscribe to the page. Just touch that subscribe button, number one. Number two, the other thing I want you to do for me, see that thumbs up? I need you all to touch that thumbs up for me before you leave. Don't come off the page unless you touch that thumbs up for me, please. I really appreciate the more you show that sort of activity on the page, it means that the page is going to be recognized by your friends and family and loved ones. All right? So I need you to touch that thumbs up for me. Touch that thumbs up for me and share it with your friends and family and loved ones outside of Trinidad and Tobago so that they can be aware of what's going on. They can be aware of what's going on because a lot of persons are not aware, you know. They're saying they are aware, but they are not aware of what's genuinely happening in Trinidad and Tobago. Too much of us are walking around with our eyes closed when it should be wide open. You know? Positive, the gospel artist, gospel minister sang a song like that. Eyes wide open. That's how we're supposed to be walking, with our eyes wide open. But some of us are walking around with our eyes closed and being fooled. We were warned, you know. We were forewarned. We were warned about this. Some of you didn't stick brick in some of your ears. Some of you all stick break in your ear. See, didn't hear? So I want to play for you how you were warned 2 months ago. 2 months ago. You were warned. You know that, right? How many of you know that you were warned? You were warned.
And I'm telling you, if UNC wins, we all lose. If the UNC gets their way and they start with their bag of poison goodies, it is going to lead to a devaluation. They have to devalue the dollar. And I am going to explain to you tonight what that means to each and every one of us. That is the UNC plans. But first, let me start with the IMF, because it is important that citizens understand the effects of this and how it is going to hurt you. So whilst they tell you and they want to sell you sweets and they want to thief your head, this is what it really means. IMF is immediate loss of jobs. First thing they will say, get rid of CPEP, get rid of URP, get rid of reforestation, get rid of public servants. Second thing they will say, all the contract workers in the government, get rid of them. That is where the UNC wants to put you. Loss of contract positions. They then tell you, cut all subsidies. Let me tell you what subsidies are.
You all heard that? You all heard that? Are we seeing that happening today? Are you seeing that happening today? Yes or no? What former Prime Minister Young would have said on the platform? What former Prime Minister Young said on the platform? Are you seeing that happening today? Yes or no? Oh, you want to play it over? I'm going to play it over for you.
And I'm telling you, if UNC wins, we all lose. If the UNC gets their way and they start with their bag of poison goodies, it is going to lead to a devaluation. They have to devalue the dollar. And I am going to explain to you tonight what that means to each and every one of us. That is the UNC plans. But first, let me start with the IMF, because it is important that citizens understand the effects of this and how it is going to hurt you. So whilst they tell you and they want to sell you sweets and they want to thief your head, this is what it really means. IMF is immediate loss of jobs. First thing they will say, get rid of CPEP, get rid of URP, get rid of reforestation, get rid of public servants. Second thing they will say, all the contract workers in the government, get rid of them. That is where the UNC wants to put you.
Is that happening? Yes or no? Are we seeing this taking place presently? I'm not hearing all your boy. There's this deafening silence on the live. What former Prime Minister Young said 2 months ago, is it true, false, make-up story, exaggerating? You remember when they cut up this clip? You remember when they cut up this clip? I will never still have that cut up clip. You remember when they cut up the clip and make it look as though Minister Young was going to do that? Prime Minister Young was going to do that? Eh? Only talk to me now. 464-7003. You all remember when they made it look as though Prime Minister Young was going to do that? Eh? You know, I know you ain't nobody, boy. I don't know, there's just this definite silence, boy. Am I talking the truth or am I lying? You all remember when they cut up a clip and the same Prime Minister Young had to go on a platform and clear it up and said that he never said that? Eh? But take him and do it. What kind of thing is this, boy? What really going on in this country, boy? That is some real high science deceitfulness, boy. Serious, you know? Serious. That is serious business. That is some serious things there, brethren. And I remember this clip. Wait, just now. Look at here. Listen to this clip.
But I told you this here tonight, as your Prime Minister, is get rid of public servants. The second thing that will happen, get rid of CPEP, get rid of URP, get rid of reforestation, contract workers in the government, get rid of them. You see the lights on? The government paying for that. No more free health care. They're going to cut subsidies. No more free medicine.
You remember when they cut it up like that? They cut up this clip and put it out there and got citizens upset. I remember talking to a young man, and he who sent me the clip went back into the chat where that young man and I was talking, and he sent me this clip and he said, "This is what the Prime Minister saying he going to do." Who doing it now? Who doing it now? Deception is real. Lies is real. Listen again, you know, how they cut up a clip with Prime Minister Young and tell you that is what he going to do. And when they came in office, who got rid of the CPEP workers? Who got rid of contract workers in WASA? Who threatening not to pay URP workers? All here. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, Pastor Google. Well, thank you for playing that piece of clip, because that is what's happening. You see, but all we know that happening because, and I just tell you that they cannot, they're talking about, they can't pay the URP workers monthly. They have to wait and this, and they're making all kind of excuse because they already spoken to the IMF people about what they're going to do, and the IMF give them that institution how to work it out so that they could get their money when they come. It already happened, and I only hope the people who didn't care to go out and vote, now they will see is the same people, them, their daughter working in the service under contract, URP, CPEP, and everywhere you could think about. Is some family member working and some family member waiting to get something when the month or the fortnight or whatsoever up. And that is what when UNC win, everybody win. Later, bad.
Thank you very much. 464-7003. 464-7003. Thanks very much to the callers for calling in, because you all know I really don't like the monologue. I really don't like the monologue thing, you know. I really don't want it. And I'm being honest with you, if it's coming along to monologue, you know, I'm not into that. I really not into that monologue thing. Right? And I really do appreciate when you all call in and share your views. Share your views. I really do appreciate it. So I'm encouraging you all, take down the number. The number to call again is 464-7003. 464-7003.
Any independent economist will tell you that, and I have the facts here from the Ministry of Finance, because we've spent the last few the UNC, God forbid, get a tiptoe into office and do what they say they're going to do. It is going to have two immediate reactions, and any independent economist will tell you that, and I have the facts here from the Ministry of Finance, because we've spent the last few days working the numbers, calculating how much it will cost, calculating how much money we will lose if the UNC does what they say they're going to do. Two things going to happen. And remember, I told you this here tonight as your Prime Minister. The first is we're going straight to the IMF. We will end up straight by the IMF. This PNM government has avoided the IMF for 9.5 years. Yes, taking our own medicine. You heard Dr. Rowley tell us it's better we take our own bitter medicine than the IMF do it. We have not laid off a single public servant. The first thing the IMF does, ask Barbados. Ask Barbados. I was sitting with Prime Minister Motley last week Wednesday, up to Jamaica, down to Jamaica. The first thing the IMF made them do, is get rid of public servants. Over 3,000 public servants, which is a lot in Barbados. The second thing that will happen if the UNC gets their way, and I'm telling you, if UNC wins, we all lose. If the UNC gets their way and they start with their bag of poison goodies, it is going to lead to a devaluation. They have to devalue the dollar. And I am going to explain to you tonight what that means to each and every one of us. That is the UNC plans. But first, let me start with the IMF, because it is important that citizens understand the effects of this and how it is going to hurt you. So whilst they tell you and they want to sell you sweets and they want to thief your head, this is what it really means. IMF is immediate loss of jobs. First thing they will say, get rid of CPEP, get rid of URP, get rid of reforestation, get rid of public servants. Second thing they will say, all the contract workers in the government, get rid of them. That is where the UNC wants to put you. Loss of contract positions. They then tell you, cut all subsidies. Let me tell you what subsidies are. You see the lights on? The government paying for that. You see how we could all go across in San Fernando Hospital now, get treatment, get medication, or senior citizens could get CDAP, all of that gone, because as the IMF will tell you, you can't afford that.
You all hear that? All hear, all hear us sit down there and pretend as though I don't present facts to all you, and as though I'm making up all of this, and as though, you know what? This is not really happening. This is not really happening. Only talk to me now. I don't like this, I don't like when Ole do with this, Ole, this is not what happening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Pastor Google.
Hi, good evening.
How are you? Dandy here.
Talk to me.
I just want to say, Minister Young almost sound like his mother Cornhuts is his grandmother. Because everything he said in that speech, we see in the counterpart.
True.
And we know IMF is somewhere down the line. But Pastor Google, we seeing it, and he still give them credit. He said 3,000 employees, but we lost 10,000 in one shot. So for all the people, all the people who listen to all these rallies and listen to all these, the past ministers of the PNM get up on stage night after night and telling all you what was at stake, who choose to stay in all your house for God know whatever reason and not vote. Take that.
Oh, Lord.
Take that. That is what I have to tell them. No, they have to take that. You see, just now everybody putting underneath every comment, oh, well, when UNC win, everybody win. Well, PNM people have to take that because all you chose not to come out of all your house and look what we have to put up with. And Padarat, I see a video with Minister Padarat in Yuma, having a good time, and people running to hug him up and whine and shake his hand like if he's a celebrity. And the day before, Padarat sent home how much? 10,000 something people.
Thank you from Wassa.
He wig was a little shift. It needed straightening. And he had all kind of people whining on and coming up to him. I'm ashamed to say people who look like me and you.
Thank you.
Who were running up to him
to
shake his hand and to throw waste. And he had no rhythm. I'm sorry, I wasn't letting him watch. He had no rhythm. And he and the party having a good time and comfortable and happy, knowing that 10,000 people were sent home the day before. And then the next day, all the issue letter now stating, they don't know when they're going and get whatever pay they probably had inside. So when UNC win, I guess everybody wins. And PNM people who choose not to come out and vote after listening to what was going to happen night after night on the campaign trail, take that. Because he said it, and I'm sad to say for my country, IMF coming next. Good night, Pastor Google.
Thank you very much. I am listening, I am watching and listening, you know. Because I am saying that I'm playing for you all what Prime Minister Young would have said to you all back then. Prime Minister Young said it. And some of you, let's be honest, some of you did not listen to him. Hello, good evening. Hey. Look who calling me. Look who calling me.
You wouldn't believe. I was always listening, but I had schoolwork to do.
I know.
So I was listening to the program. And the same time I decided to call, that when the phone decided to get trouble.
All right.
I ended up listening.
But you're getting tonight. So let me hear you. Let me hear you, baby girl.
So my thing is, right? Them believe that this government care for them. They are attacking the vulnerable. You're saying that the CPF workers did not get back their jobs, right? But the contractor don't have to take the same people.
No.
You don't have to employ the same people.
No.
So that is no assurance at all. And that is why union leaders are not supposed to become part of the government. Because here you have your union leaders telling you a whole strain. Them themselves don't even know what's going on, and they cannot stand up and tell the government nothing about what they are doing to the workers. So who really are the voices for the CPEP workers, the contract workers, the URP workers? They have nobody to defend them.
Yep.
And this is what those who stay home and those who decided to give UNC the vote, that is what they vote for. Who don't hear us feel.
Oh, Lord.
I bet you they learn something. I bet you they learn something now.
I hear you. Thank you very much for your call.
You enjoy the rest of your night. I will try to call you. But others always be listening, so don't think I don't be listening. I'll be listening.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's my Tobago girl. I can't wait to go to Tobago and bounce up. Take a listen to this.
Everybody when you went, she went. Everybody
So this is a video that I showed you all a while ago, some time ago, with Mr. Barry Padrat making his tour in Wassa. And those same Wassa workers right now, so even know if they come in or they go in, they don't know what's going on with them. But listen,
our workers by saving us, because a lot of us would have done shopping block if things turned out differently on April 28th. And I must say I thank you and your government and the Honorable Prime Minister for having that compassion as well and understanding that in going forward you need the people, right? And so essentially thank you very much. Yes.
A few minutes later, there are claims that over 500 contracted workers attached to the Operational Control Center of the Water and Sewerage Authority are now on the breadline. News Center 5 understands the contracts of 50 in office and over 400 field workers have not been renewed, and they are yet to get any word on job security. Last week, a new WASA board was sworn in. Today, former Public Utilities Minister Marvin Gonzalez says the OCC project was essential to the transformation of the utility. He says thousands of households were receiving water with no payment to WASA.
WASA workers, CPEP workers, we're hearing about URP, we're hearing about some people from LSA, we're hearing about persons in the Ministry of Rural Development. We are hearing, but are we listening? We are hearing, but are we listening? I don't think we're listening. I think we're just hearing, but we're not listening. We're not listening. We're just hearing. We're not listening. 464-7003. Four 464-7003. 464-7003. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension the world? What are your thoughts? What's the time now? Hey, it's minutes to 10. You know, I normally end the program at 10, eh? So I'm giving you all some time to call in and tell me what are your thoughts, because I played for you, Prime Minister Young, warning you about, former Prime Minister Young, I should say, warning you about what will happen if you take God out of your thoughts and put these people in office.
Actually 10,700 workers in CPEP. It's 140 change agents. It is 10 of the executive in WASA. It's 400 WASA workers. There are 4,700 forestry workers. There are nearly 5,000 URP workers. There are 900 workers in one regional health authority, 800 in another. In a mere nearly 2 months, not even full 2 months, we're looking at over 12,000 people lurched. And the leader today put something very important on the meeting. If you multiply the effect of families, if you take 12,000 people and multiply by 5 dependents, now we know who the UNC is talking about with the 50,000 people. Clearly, they intend to savage this nation. And our leader warned that the UNC would be in this regard. I warned myself of the tyranny that would be reigned. In fact, I came under public condemnation for those factors. So there are a lot of questions that the UNC will answer, and they will have to ask those questions. They'll have to answer those questions in courts and in the public domain.
I want to play it one more time. Those of you who are now joining me on YouTube and those of you joining me on Facebook, we are discussing and looking at statements made by former Prime Minister Young warning Trinidad and Tobago that if the UNC comes into office and they are to do or to try to govern Trinidad and Tobago, they will cut staff. Listen to how much people have been unemployed since the UNC take office. You listening? I see somebody send a voice note. No, somebody calling, man. Hello, good evening.
Pastor Google, I want you to read on Facebook somebody by the name of Rico Myers, and what he is saying, he or she is saying that they were one of 140 agents elected from the Ministry of Rural Jobs yesterday, and that they told them before, that's what the person put in the comment, that their jobs were safe, and then they came and fired them. Okay. I wish the person would call in and let you know, because I read that comment and I felt it in my big too. I wish that person could get a phone and call in and express to you how he feeling, how they going forward, him and the 140 co-workers, what is next for them. I really wish Mr. Rico Myers would call in and explain to you and let us hear how people are feeling.
Wow.
Because they lost their job yesterday. Thank you, Pastor Google.
Thank you for calling in and telling me this. You see why I want you to call in? You can't. You are my eyes on Facebook, because I'm not seeing the comments on Facebook. So you are my eyes.
I call in for mommy. Say good night, mommy.
Yeah, you are my eyes on Facebook. I really want to thank you publicly for bringing this to my awareness. And let's lobby and ask the person to call in. Just call in and tell us You know what I mean?
I want him or her to call in and really say how they're feeling and what really went down, because people talking about CPEP right now, but this is 140 people that went home yesterday. What is going on?
What department is
I
this?
think we need he said from rural development.
Rural development.
Yeah, they would change agents from the Ministry of Rural Development. And we ain't see this in the news. If this was under the PNM, if it was under Dr. Rowley or Stuart Young, Ms. Beckles, it would have been all over the news. Look how the PNM firing people, the wicked and evil, this dirty government. All that I listened to for the last 10 years, they do nothing, they're too wicked. People can't survive. And now the country just have a murmur. You don't even hear about crime. You swear crime on a downfall. That's a crime happening every day. And nothing is being said. And I think it's time we need one of those march Dr. Rowley did keep back in the day, and people need to come out in the hundreds and thousands. We need an election. We need a snap election like yesterday. We need to go back to the polls, because if they're saying Stuart Young was never really a legal prime minister, then the elections was illegal in my book. That means illegal prime minister call an illegal election, so we should go back to the polls. If he can't get his pension because he was not a prime minister in their book, well then he was not in position to call an election, so let me go back to the poll and fight it out. Good night, Master Google.
Thank you very much. Hey, Olia, so I want the person to call in. The number to call is 464-7003. 464-7003. The lines are open for you to call in. We would really like to hear from you, though. We would really, really like to hear from you and others who may have lost their jobs. Call in and tell us. Mr. Good evening to the 400 people on YouTube. Thank you all very much for joining me. I really would like to talk to that person. Right? I would really, really like to talk to that person. So you know the number to call. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. We're not going to embarrass you. We're not going to tell you, well, you look for that and all those kind of things. No. I'm not going to encourage that. What I will encourage is just for you to share your experience with us. You know what I mean? Just share your experience with us now. All right? Just share your experience with us. Really would love to hear from you. And these are the things that we should be encouraging at this time. There are people hurting out there. And us, we as a party should be really looking to support these people and encourage them, boy, in this time of hurt and disappointment. So again, the number to call, 464-7003. And it's just sad, though. It's really, really sad. Really, 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 really sad. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Pastor Google, once more.
Hi, good evening.
Hi. I'm calling to add to the program also. Much more happening than that, just people getting severed. You see the ERHA, a lot is happening in there. But how they handle it, they cease all hiring and contract extensions. So they're trying to let that die a natural death. But we need to keep our eyes on that. A lot of people went home immediately under the RHAs. The second thing, the nurses under, at least, I read that today on the Nurses Association page, at least 3 of the RHAs, the pool, which is basically overtime for nurses, they cut that out. And the thing is, a lot of nurses work overtime because they are short staffed, right? So it come like they cutting the staff when they cut the overtime. My sister is a nurse, and she explained it. And I remember Edie had called in to another program, a morning program, and he had explained that very recently a nurse ended up administering the wrong medicine to a child. And what he was saying, I think it's 24, he said, is a lot. He said that one nurse was looking after 24 people on that ward, whether it's a young child, a young adult, I can't remember the full thing. But he said that was about 5 or 6 people work that one nurse was doing. And they had to immediately call people out. So when you cut overtime, you cut in staff, and you know the implications of that in the health service, in the health system. So it's a lot of things happening. The severance and all those things is only at one drop in the bucket. A lot happening. People too ashamed now to come out and make noise and to say anything, but the protests and everything will come out in due course. People still feeling bad and having hope that the decision they make, it wouldn't take us down the wrong road, but too little, too late. We're done there. So we will see how that will, but a lot will come out very soon. After the vacation, after Modi go back to India and everybody start party and all the kakata done, you will see more. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wow. Thanks for calling, and I appreciate your call. And I pray that you continue to call in and lend your voice to what's going on.
Good night, Pastor Google. Sometimes God gives me what we want so that we will learn a lesson. So that is why we have gotten the UNC party, so that the rest who did nothing or who did vote for them to learn a lesson of what they did, is because the first set of people, just like what happened in America, is the same people, some of the same people who voted for them who are crying now. So that is just for a lesson for them to learn. When they hear message is being preached, take it seriously.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very, very much. So I heard that Mr. Anisette made a statement about the workers, and I want to play it for you guys. And we're still reaching out to the young man or the young lady, whoever it is. We're still reaching out to you, asking you if you can call in, please. All right, please call in. We'll appreciate it a whole lot if you can call in and tell us, what is going on. How did you manage to lose your job? And you're saying that they made a promise, and they told you all that, hey, don't worry yourself, your job's safe. But then they end up turning on you guys, and you lost your job. All right? So I look forward, if you can call in, I look forward to hearing from you. And the numbers again is 464-7003. 464-7003. All right? So you can call in. Yeah, tall man.
Yeah, Pastor Google, I was not on the phone. I hear the thing going around. What they're saying is they're trying to tell people that it have some money for them to collect, that the workers, the CPEP workers, a month money. But let me tell you, which I will know, how CPEP does deal with workers. They deal with workers through the contractors and through the fees officers, through timesheets. CPEP, what they are saying, workers could come with their ID card and collect the money, go by the bank or wherever. CPEP does not operate like that. That is a lie. And they put out that lie there in case it have protests for the workers not to go and protest against the government. Right? That is a blatant lie. CPEP do not operate like that, I can tell you. Right? They don't operate like that. The only time you can get paid from CPEP is if the contractor gets the accountant to do the timesheet, and he submit the timesheet to the field officer, and the field officer submitted to CPEP. And the name is on the timesheet. No card a month from now, or no ID card next month or whenever you could go and show and push a bank card and get money. No, it will never work like that. That's a blatant lie. That's all I'll tell you.
All right. Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you very much. And he can tell it because he was an employee. All right. So he could tell you. All right. So Trinidad and Tobago, we need to wake up as a nation, boy. We need to wake up as a nation. I'm trying to get that video with Mr. Anisette for you guys. Really trying to get that video with Mr. Anisette for you guys to hear what Mr. Anisette had to say. All right? But at the end of the day, to the CPEP workers, you all heard what the man say. You all are collateral damage. You all are collateral damage. That is sad.
So lovely, and I'm madly in love with you. She said, don't mind, I'm on the streets there.
You know, like him or hate him, Mr. Anisette is the only one right now who is lifting his voice for workers as a union person, as that I'm aware of, as a union person in Trinidad and Tobago. You know. As I say, like him or hate him, Mr. Anisette is the only person who is lifting his voice for workers in this country.
Everyone keeps cutting each other's throats. In this concrete jungle we live in, the episode is murder she wrote. 'Cause you can tell how I feel when I'm hungry. You do not feel the depression that I feel when I'm broke. My so-called friends, they're just watching and laughing. They won't stretch a helping hand, I swear they have stroke. That's why I know love. She said love, nobody loves nobody.
You all remember the young lady who I played the other day? I played a young lady who was living in her car. And some people felt so compassionate about her, and they reached out to her. Well, they wanted to reach out to her. They never messaged me for the number or for the video, so they may have gotten it from somebody else. But you remember that young lady? Where she was saying that she's living in her vehicle. She reached out to the Minister Vandana Mohit. Sometimes I just wonder if these things are true or if people are making up these things to draw attention to themselves. This is just me. I personally wondering out loud, is it that these people are doing these things to draw attention to themselves? Are they getting paid to do this? Or is it that it's a genuine? Is it genuine that this person really need help? You want to know why I'm asking that? Or want you to listen to this? Listen to this, Trinidad and Tobago. And you tell me if something this lady need help. Also, you know, she need help. Or what I want to say, I might get in trouble. But I think she needs help. And I think she needs help sooner than later. Because you can't tell me you're living in your car. You're living in your vehicle. And these are the statements that you're going to make. All right? So listen to this, eh?
I know all this amount they might bash me, but I do business. You see my government, I vote for change, and I know we will get that change. Look how long I out of our work. Eh? CPEP now come on, they close down, they cut, they rip up whatever contract. You know how long Petrotrim men without work and women? Eh? Anyway, I ain't want to bash nothing really between me and you. But you see me, I vote for change. I vote for change, and that is what it is I will get. I'm sure Auntie Camilla, Kadisha, Vandana, Dr. Richard Sicharan, Maraj, Anil, Lee, all these MPs, all these senators, I sure they're going and fix back we country, because them don't like how we was living. 9 years we go through horror, and now we're going and get fixed up. I still sleeping in my car, and I ain't care who want about, you see all them comments when you're about, I'm homeless and this, that, yes, I'm homeless, and all they want to make fun of for me. I don't care about that. You have a big work to do. Mind my business, right? You have a big work.
She say I would like to make a clean break. Now that I've learned from my mistake. But right now, like it's too late for me. 'Cause I done gone through already. Oh, no matter how hard I try.
I want to reach out to my Eyes on Facebook. Eyes on Facebook, somebody is talking about the public servants president was on the UNC press conference. Could you just give me an idea of what that person talking about?
About me, go your way in peace, 'cause you can fool me. I know love don't love anybody. Everyone keeps cutting each other's throats. In this concrete jungle we live in, the episode is murder she wrote. No one wants you when you are a loser. When you're on top, they keep trying to pull you down. Once you have cash, you will have friends forever. But when you're broke like me and you check for them, look, they're gone. That's why I know love. She said love, nobody loves nobody.
Hi, good evening.
Pastor Google Eagle Eyes reported to you here.
Talk to
no,
me.
what he was saying is that the PSA leader was on a UNC press conference last week, Sunday.
Right.
So she has to know about the mass firings, because that is one of the ways for her followers to get their 10% that was promised to them.
Okay.
So she is basically in on it, is what the person is implying.
Wow.
And makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah,
You know, cut some truth to.
Yeah.
So you understand? So yeah, that's what the person is saying.
You know,
So,
I was saying that to somebody, you know. I was saying, is it that they're cutting costs, they're cutting staff so that they will be able to give the people the 10%? Because if you do have 10,000 workers, you do have 100 workers. If you check up all the workers, as Faris was doing for us a while ago, if you check up all those workers and plus,
that means is less people they have to pay.
Less people have to pay 10%, and you could but I don't know. I don't know if that's a wise move.
Yeah, and there's a union leader.
Yeah.
All right, Pastor Google.
Thank you very much.
It's getting stickier and stickier.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. And I'm appreciating the statement. Some people are coming on the live and making some very wise contributions. Wise contributions.
Now, we wise over here on Facebook. Trust me.
Wow. Thank you very much. And let me say thank you to all the persons on Facebook who are commenting and making their views heard. Thank you very, very much.
Bye.
Wow, bye-bye. Wow. Are you listening, boy? Are we listening? Or are we just hearing? We need to take copious notes, boy. We need to take serious notes. Hello, good evening.
Pastor Google, I forget to say one thing before I hang up. I just want to tell somebody on Facebook by the name of Cyril Ramadan. Go and hug up your wife now. Go and hug up your wife. It's late. You're just making no sense here. And I'm just going to hug up your wife before somebody hug up your wife for him, okay? Cyril, go in your bed. Pee and go in your hammock, Cyril. It's late. Good night, Pastor.
I'll make a bake. All right. Thank you. Oh, gosh.
11,000, it's actually 10,700 workers in CPEP. It's 140 change agents. It is 10 of the executive in WASA. It's 400 WASA workers. There are 4,700 forestry workers. There are nearly 5,000 URP workers. There are 900 workers in one regional health authority, 800 in another. In a mere nearly 2 months, not even full 2 months, we're looking at over 12,000 people lurched. And the leader today put something very important on the meeting. If you multiply the effect of families, if you take 12,000 people and multiply by 5 dependents, now we know who the UNC is talking about with the 50,000 people. Clearly, they intend to savage this nation. And our leader warned that the UNC would be in this regard. I warned myself of the tyranny that would be reigned. In fact, I came under public condemnation for those factors. So there are a lot of questions that the UNC will answer, and they will have to ask those questions. They'll have to answer those questions in courts and in the public domain.
When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
PNM is currently assembling a team of senior attorneys, lawyers, to defend all of the contractors that have been, as well as 10,000 employees who are employed within the organization.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good afternoon, Pastor Google. How are you doing?
I am okay. Good evening.
All right, Pastor Google, I didn't see you make that outrage when all the petition workers lose their job. You have said nothing about that?
When what?
Did you look? When they close up and all the petition workers lose their job.
Petroton, all right, so let's discuss it. Let's discuss it a little bit.
All right.
When Petroton workers lost their jobs, were they told before? Were they told a month before, or were they told the same day?
No, sir. No, they wasn't told that, sir.
So they were just one day they just come and so just one day they just come and just fired them.
Listen, the late Franklin Tan came out afterwards and say that until Roger had known they was going to close on Petroton, may God rest his soul.
So I'm asking you now, is that not different? Is that not different to what's happening now?
When they closed down TSTT, I heard say nothing at all about people going from TSTT.
So let me ask you something. Did they go home with Did they go home with nothing?
They were to.
Did they go home with nothing? Did the people? Did the people from TSTT go home with nothing?
Pastor Bull, I have this question to ask you.
No, answer my question first.
Let me ask you a question.
No, answer my question first. Did the people from TSTT and Petroton go home with no money?
They probably get the money that it was owed.
Okay, so they get money.
Yeah.
Did the people from CPEP go? Did the people from CPEP go home with money?
The government say that they have.
Did the people from CPEP go home with any money?
I don't think they went through with any money.
Okay, right. That's the difference.
But let me ask you a question.
That's the difference.
Let me ask you a question. I'll ask you a question. On another note, condolences to the late Miss Gemma. I heard that she passed away. Condolences to her family. May God rest her soul. But I was thinking about something. Did you went to her funeral, Pastor Gogo?
I didn't know.
You didn't even know? You didn't even know PNM Gemma passed away?
But I'm not. Well, wait, just now. I'm not working on it. Wait, just now. Yeah, but I'm not working on it. I'm not working, sir. Sir, just now. Sir, just now. Just now. I am not working in the media anymore, you know.
Okay, I listen.
So I am not. So if I'm not working on radio, I'm not working on radio where Miss Gemma used to call. Could you you're not listen? If you're not willing to listen to me, then why are you calling me? You asking me a question. Wait, you asking me a question. Just like how, wait, listen to this. Just like how on Sunday, a friend of mine, we went out. His wife passed away. We thought that everybody in Trinidad and Tobago would have known that that young lady passed away. When a gentleman walked up to him and said, "Hey, where your wife?" Because we thought that everybody would have, who aware of who she is, would know. The gentleman was in total shock. Because he did not know that. So you telling me that I cannot not be aware that somebody passed away?
Not just somebody. PNM Gemma.
But you're still not making no sense. And that's you call my program to try to tell me. You call my program. Wait, just now. You call my program to try to embarrass me. You call my program to try to embarrass me.
PNM don't take care of their own.
So how they didn't take care of their own? What do you mean? So people supposed to live forever then?
Well, listen this now. PNM Gemma passed away. It was not one councillor or member MP or the member for Arima went to she funeral.
You know that? You was there?
I know that it was. It had a streaming live, bro.
All right, and you know for a fact. You know for a fact,
bro.
So you know for a fact that nobody was in there.
You hear what I'm telling you?
No, I and that's you call my program to talk about.
That's what I'm trying to show you.
No, that's you call. Why are you taking up time? Why are you taking time to call a program? Wait, that's all. Why are you taking time to call a program? Oh well, then hear what? If you have a job to call me out on what stupidness, then hear what? I will ban you from calling me.
But you can
take that. You out of place. You out of place. Why you calling me? This is not 91, you know. Where nobody can call me to tell me allow you to talk, you know. And nobody can call me to tell me I talking for free, you know. You ain't called to talk about Padraat lie. And well, listen to me. You ain't called to say, well, you know, the minister need to be called out because he would have misled the country by saying that CPEP had to do they didn't audit and they didn't present the audit to the Ministry of Public Utilities. You ain't called to say Padraat need to be called out on that. He lied. You ain't called to talk about Padraat lie and say to him, hey, it's a new government, it's a new ministry, you're a new minister. Hey, get your facts right before you come on at a press conference. You ain't called to say that. You ain't calling to say that because to you, that is right. Talk about a dead woman, God rest her soul, and find that, hey, nobody go to she funeral. So you call to highlight that. That's what you call to highlight. PNM to take care of their own. Well, UNC doing it now. UNC taking care of their own now. UNC then said they was going to take care of their own. They said how they was going to take care of the country. They said how when them win, everybody win. And right now, people are losing their jobs. That's the reality of it. But you call to talk rubbish. Nonsense you call to talk about. Let's be real now. And stop fooling yourself, sir. If you're not happy with my podcast, then come off. You don't have to look. You don't have to listen. You don't have to be a part. So the reality of it is that we were talking about Mr. Minister of Public Utilities and his lies. And clearly he was called out on his lies. And you know what? You ain't called to say nothing about this.
2018, CPEP has not submitted audited financial statements to the Ministry of Public Utilities, as is mandated in the law. Since 2018, CPEP has not submitted audited financial statements to the Ministry of Public Utilities, as is mandated in the...
And CPEP was not under the Ministry of Public Utilities, but you ain't calling to say, hey, you're going on now, Minister, you need to get your facts right before you call a press conference, because CPEP was not under the Ministry of Public Utilities. You ain't called to tell Barry Paderat that. You ain't called to say, here, what's going on, Mr. Minister? There was something that happened, you know. But let me hear what it is.
Anna Carter has the details.
The issue of the submission of outstanding financial statements from 2015 to 2021 was once again raised by the Public Accounts Enterprises Committee. In response, the CPEP Chief Executive Officer explained the challenges inherited by the current company administration, including a system crash in 2015, erasing all company financial records from 2010 to 2016, and the unwillingness of former external auditors to submit the working documents needed to complete the 2015 to 2021 financial audit.
Between the recovery of the information and putting a new auditor in place with the refusal to get the working papers, it took 3 years to be able to get that information built and to have a new auditor in place. And that forward balance that we are referring to is something that the auditors require to get 2015 signed off, because if you don't have that balance going forward, everything else that follows could be erroneous.
Beautiful. You ain't called to talk about that. You ain't called to talk about that, Barry. You ain't called to talk about how the man blatantly mislead and lie to the nation. You called to talk about I ain't talk about petrochem workers. Petrochem workers get money to leave. They get severance pay. Petrochem workers got severance pay. TNTech workers, TSCT workers got severance pay. What money did CPEP workers get for working for 9-10 years? What money they got? And then you want to call me, boy? You had the audacity to call me? And you admitted to know, yes, TSCT workers got severance. Yes, Petrochem workers got severance. No. You admitted it. But then now, want to talk about Gemma. The late Miss Gemma. To make her bacchanal. Hello, good evening.
Hi, Pastor Gold. Pastor Gold, I just sent you a video there. Right? Is David Simpson had Miss Funky Gemma body out of his funeral home in Laventille. I had a viewing down there at Laventille. Everybody came, and you will see a motorcade with a big truck, limousine, and everything going up. It's going down the middle, going up Erica Street to go back to Arima. Right? You will see it on the video. You will see the motorcade. So I don't know what I'm talking about, you know. You see propaganda again. He's trying to distract a program, that's all. But look the video. Look at the video.
Thank you very much.
I just said it on your phone.
Thank you
very much. Oh, Lord Jesus. Only need help.
Let me see that video that tall man sent me here. And you call with such confidence and arrogance, boy. That's what upsetting me. You call with such arrogance.
They're rolling out the material here, the fabric, to make the dress for your big stink fat girl.
What is this? Just now. Hello, good evening.
Pastor Google, I have Pastor Google one thing. I'm not. It isn't right. It's not. But did they go to Lisa Morris Jr.? I don't know if I'm saying her name right.
Yeah, Lisa Morris Jr. No, they didn't. They didn't. The UNC didn't.
Did they attend her funeral? Did anybody call in to bash and talk about? Oh, they didn't come.
Oh, they didn't. They did not attend.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
No, they did not attend. And she was a co-worker, work with them, and they did not attend. So, Dotish Paula, rest winner.
Thank you. Rest we. I love it. Rest we. Let me see if there's a video here.
Are they ever going on, right?
Alright. I'm trying to see if there's a video. So, man, show you some of the right video, boy. Tall man, will you send the video on? Tall man, you send the video on the wrong phone. You ain't easy now. Alright, let me see if I get this video here that tall man talking about. Because we want to expose that caller now. We want to expose him. He's just as lied. Alright, I think I get it, tall man. He is just a liar as the people who he support. All right. All right. Let's see. Yeah. You're not serious, boy. You calling my program to make bacchanal. Only good, yes? Last set of calls before I leave. Call me back, caller. Last set of calls before I leave. So yes, I'm seeing the motorcade, tall man, but I thought you would have showed me from inside with Simpson's funeral home with persons who were there. And that's cool. Alright. But tall man, apparently tall man was there. So tall man could tell you if, you know. But hear this one.
Could hire and fire who they pleased. When you could hire and the government could hire and fire who they pleased. When you could hire and fire who you please, you could get them to do what you want. And that's how it works in this system. The government could hire and fire who they pleased. When you could hire and fire who you please, you could get them to do what you want. And
so wait now. Philip Alexander in the Senate is saying that the government could hire and fire who they please. And if you could hire and fire who you please, then, well, let me see, boss. Let me say good evening to those of you joining me on YouTube. 410 persons on YouTube. Let me say good evening to you guys. Thank you all very, very much for being with me. I appreciate it. Just remember, before you leave, before you come off the live, make sure and subscribe. Make sure and subscribe to the live, number one. Number two, I also want you to tap that thumbs up for me. See the thumbs up that you're seeing? I want you to tap on that. Tap on that thumbs up. The 400 of you, just tap on that thumbs up for me before you come off the live this evening. So what's the time now? It's about 10:35. No, 10:40. It's about 10:40. This is my last call before I leave the live. Hello, good evening.
Yep. Yeah, Pastor. You see, when fellas like that call you, You know what I'm telling them? Them hurting very, very bad at this point in time. They hurt so bad that when UNC win, everybody win. They're trying to backtrack now to tell yourself, you know what? I don't support them. I don't support that what they're doing. So he's calling you now because you're putting out the dragon on him. And he don't know how to defend it. The poor fella had nothing to give you. He had nothing to say, but he's hurting. And if that same fella go around and tell people to vote for UNC, that everything will go good. And when UNC win, everybody know that he hurting and he can't go back to the people there to tell them how much they hurting now. That is why he called you to tell you that, because somebody had to call you to tell you, to listen to you, that what you're saying. But they're hurting, and they will be hurting for a real good length of period of time later.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, so here's why I have to say my thank yous and my goodbyes and my full appreciation to all of you for being with me this evening on Constructive Talk. All right. Thank you all very, very much.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly,
11,000, it's actually 10,700 workers in CPEP. It's 140 change agents. It is 10 of the executive in WASA. It's 400 WASA workers. There are 4,700 forestry workers. There are nearly 5,000 URP workers. There are 900 workers in one regional health authority, 800 in another. In a mere nearly 2 months, not even full 2 months, we're looking at over 12,000 people lurched. And the leader today put something very important on the meeting. If you multiply the effect of families, if you take 12,000 people and multiply by 5 dependents, now we know who the UNC is talking about with the 50,000 people. Clearly, they intend to savage this nation. And our leader warned that the UNC would be in this regard. I warned myself of the tyranny that would be reigned. In fact, I came under public condemnation for those factors. So there are a lot of questions that the UNC will answer, and they will have to ask those questions. They'll have to answer those questions in courts and in the public domain.
time to decide. If you want leaders who can restore hope, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who...
But those things have to be treated and we treated with that. And in treating with that, there are going to be some fallout in the interim, in the beginning, but we're going to treat this fallout as far as the workers are concerned. So even though I'm from the labor movement, yes, even though I will be the first to jump up and say, look, you're affecting workers, yes, but I also am saying to the workers that we have not turned a blind eye on you, that we still and we will always have a labor agenda, and we're going to see about the workers, and we're saying to the workers, give us time to deal with this corruption. How could you, in all good consciousness, terminate contracts that are going to end 3 or 4 months after the election, terminate it early, and then give persons 3 years contract 2 days before election? If that is not wrong, you tell me what is. So those things have to be treated with, and those things were done only to satisfy persons who had their PNM agenda. I make no apologies for saying that. And they are done in a corrupt and the most disgusting way, and that has to be treated with. So we make no apologies treating with it, but the workers, I know they are affected. We ask them to bear with us a little bit, have a little patience. We're going to see about them, we're going to see about all the workers, because they're not the one involved in the corruption, by the way.
Of course not.
Unfortunately, at this point in time, unfortunately, because of what we had to do, they have become now collateral damage, but we are going to see about them, we're going to take care of them as best as we can. We're just saying to them, have a little strain and go sometime.
Minister, thank you very much for your responses.
Thanks, Mr. Elder.
I hope all you're listening, you know. Oh, boy, listening, boy.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody.
Mr. Speaker, it have plenty people who vote for me who work CPEP Salas. See them in the red jersey, but they voted for the UNC. Mr. Speaker, it have plenty people who vote for me who work CPEP Salas. See them in the red jersey, but they voted for the UNC. Mr. Speaker, it have plenty people who vote for me who work CPEP Salas. See them in the red jersey, but they voted for the UNC.
On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins.
Former line minister in charge of SAPE, Dr. Rudal Munilal, has denied any wrongdoing in the granting of contracts in the days just before the September 2015 general election. Munilal also found nothing wrong in delivering contracts on the day of the general election. It is a working day like any other, he said in a telephone interview yesterday. He clarified that no new contracts were given out, but that existing monthly contracts were changed to 3-year contracts. It gave the contractors a measure of security and protection, he said, adding that SAPE now has to honor those written contracts. Munilal said the change from monthly to 3-year contracts gave the contractors an incentive to pay health surcharge and contributions on behalf of their employees. The change also allowed contractors to invest in equipment and gear for their employees, Munilal said. He said the former board, in updating the monthly contracts, was following cabinet directive and not acting on its own. Munilal said reports that the former administration hastily awarded contracts in the run-up to elections is nothing more than an attempt to paint the People's Partnership in a bad light. With regard to Dr. Rolf Belgaben's consultancy at SAPE, Munilal said he was not surprised. The objective of those kind of consultancies is to find reasons to fire contractors, he said. He said SAPE Chairman Trevor Lynch needs to answer why his personal staff is being paid by the state to work at the SAPE. Why is the corporate secretary in charge of SAPE a PNM counselor, he asked. Munilal was referring to Rondal Danawa, who was brought into the company without the position being advertised. Lynch, however, said that Danawa was only on a 3-month contract.
When UNC wins, Trinbago wins, Trinbago. Everybody wins, everybody wins. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love.